Hey guys, my name is Matt Gray and this is my wife Sarah.
Hi.
Hey, we just wanted to take a second, give you an update on our life, what the Lord's doing, and then at the end of this video we're just going to take a couple of minutes to encourage you. If you guys, if we've never met you guys, just a couple of things about us. Sarah and I were at Arkansas Tech several years ago now, and when the Lord saved me in 2011, became good friends with Drew and Tyra, and a couple years later found out they were going to this church called CrossLife. So because I knew Drew and respected Drew so much, we started attending CrossLife in 2013, and it was a no-brainer that this was the church to be at in Russellville. And in the summer of 2014, CrossLife sent newly married Matt and Sarah up to Louisville, Kentucky, where I would go to Southern Seminary, and where I would also become affiliated with a network of churches called Sovereign Grace. That local church up there was called Sovereign Grace Church of Louisville. We fell in love with this group of churches, and by God's grace, they approached myself and a few other brothers and our families and asked us to prayerfully consider the work of planting a church. So, fast forward a couple of years through the prayerful process, and by God's grace, the Lord led us back to Arkansas, a state that we love so much, and a state that we see the need for other gospel-proclaiming, healthy churches in the area. So we landed in Fayetteville, Arkansas in 2017 and began the work of planting this local church. In December of 2019, I took over the lead role of this local church, and for the last several months, we've been having a wonderful time proclaiming the Word and seeking by God's grace to plant a biblically sound, healthy local church. And so, to provide for the family, if you know anything about church planting, you know that's church planting usually isn't the means for that. So to provide, I'm a firefighter for the city of Springdale. Been doing that for almost 2 years now, and it's a real gift. A wonderful job that I get to serve the city, and at the same time, it allows me to serve the church in some really significant capacity. And then some other update, we're in the process of buying a house in Springdale. And so, Lord willing, we'll close on that house at the end of perhaps this week or middle of next week. And so we're really excited about that. So that's a little bit about kind of an update on us and update on what's going on with me. You want to share a few things, Sarah?
Yeah, so I'm still working full time, thankfully, even during the virus, nannying. And we're expecting our first baby in August.
Yep.
So we're going to have a little girl.
Yep.
So we're really excited to
we are.
move into a house before the baby gets here. And yeah, we're really thankful and blessed to be as far along as we are.
Yeah. So, guys, I just want to take a second and share with you. You already know this, but I just want to share with you the profound blessing that you have to have Bobby Biggers as your pastor. So when I came to CrossLife in 2013, I was wounded because of my pride. I was wounded because of my pride and not submitting myself to a local church. And I came into CrossLife and was immediately swept away with the healthiest local church that I had ever seen to that point. It was profound. The people were meaningfully greeting me. The gospel was clear from the beginning to the end. Everything was intentional. I remember watching and realizing, without anyone even tipping their hat, that every single aspect of the service was intentionally derived from the scriptures themselves. And I just remember being affected by that significantly. And so it was a no-brainer. Kirkland and Chase and I and Sara and Kinsey, we were all like, this place is incredible. Russellville's best kept secret. And so we just dove headfirst into that local church. In December, Bobby was like, hey, well, it's before that, but December was coming, and Bobby was like, hey, you should consider going to this conference in Louisville, Kentucky called the Cross Conference. And I was like, well, brother, I really don't want to be a missionary, but whatever you think, And he was like, I think you're going to be ministered to there. And so I was like, okay. And so we head up to CrossCon, and I remember I looked at Marwan. Let me check the time here, make sure we're good. Yeah, I looked at Marwan, and he was asking how we were affected by the conference. And I remember I said, Reformed theology is really being preached here, and I'm not real sure where I'm at on it, because I know that Paul talks about it. This is just not healthy, but this is where I was at. No, Paul talks about it, but I don't know that Jesus is talking about it much. Well, that next day, Kevin DeYoung gets up there and says, some of you think that Paul the Apostle is the only one that talks about Reformed theology. Jesus has something to say about that. And I was like, what is happening? So, of course, by God's grace, we were convinced of those doctrines there. We were convinced because of the ministry of CrossLife of 9 Marks, the ministry 9 Marks. And we were propelled by Bobby and his profound impact of leadership in my life to pursue sovereign grace. I didn't even know what sovereign grace was, but Bobby was like, you guys should check them out. And so, I'm serious. I don't know that there's a spot in my Christian sanctification, in my Christian development, and in my ministerial development that cannot be rooted back to the ministry of the local church at CrossLife. So that's just, Bobby is on the short list of the most impactful people of my life. And that's no secret. And so you guys, you probably already know that, but just by way of reminder, God's gift to you in giving you a pastor like Bobby. And so he's really going to love me talking about this. He's really going to love it. So I'll trust that God will keep Bobby humble through all of this. And by God's grace, let's just thank God for him. And so we love you, CrossLife. We love you so much. If time permitted, I would spend an additional amount of time talking about the various ways that so many of you have impacted us personally. But please trust that we love you. Please trust that we think about you all the time, and the ways that you have cared for us, the ways that you've prayed for us. And so, can't wait to see you. But until then, God bless you.